Hello everyone, Andrew here, and welcome to Mad Monster Mansion! Ooh. Welcome back to Banjo-Kazooie 100%, and yes, today we are doing Mad Monster Mansion, a quite massive level, and it's probably going to be something that's a bit bigger than any of the levels we have seen before, because Gobi's Valley was already starting to get a little bit bigger and had a whole bunch of different areas and pyramids for us to go into, but here, not only are we going to be dealing with this mansion, which has tons of places for us to kind of go inside, although we're going to be dealing with the surrounding area and hedge mazes and churches and a whole bunch of other crazy stuff. But the gimmick with this house here is there are a whole bunch of boarded up windows, but any windows that look like this you can break, and you can also break open the front door, and there are bats that are trying to kill you here too. So yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff to do in this level, and I have no idea exactly how long it is going to take, but anyway, inside here, so yes, when you go inside this mansion here, the gimmick is that when you get close to this guy, he wakes up, so you cannot get the Jiggy that is inside of him. And here's someone down there creeping. And as you might notice, he only woke up after we jumped off of the carpet. So pretty much the thing is here, as soon as you step on the wood floor, he wakes up. So you're going to need to find some way to get to him without stepping on the floor, which will wake him up. Anyway, in the meantime, unfortunately, there's not much we can do here, and you don't take damage, but if you try to get the Jiggy, you just kind of bounce off. There's probably some sort of glitch, actually, that you could do that without doing it the right way, but anyway, at the moment, there's unfortunately nothing that we can do about that, so you will have to return here later, but in the meantime, we might as well get some notes and head over to this fireplace here, which does have a Mumbo token hiding behind this flame. I think it's behind? I guess you're supposed to use gold failures to go through it, but anyway, there are 15 Mumbo tokens hidden in this level, which is the most that we have seen hidden in a level so far. So we started with 28, so we should be leaving here with 43. And we shall see how well this goes, because I do not remember if I know the location of every single Mumbo token in this level, and also I believe I should show that if we go inside this thing here, it actually does not lead us to the exact same room like you would think it would. Also, these skeleton guys act exactly like the mummies do, where after you hit them they kind of crumble, and a few seconds later they get back up, and the only way to destroy them is with gold feathers, although I really don't want to waste too many of those. Also, here we have some pictures, and if you get too close to them, just like in Clanker's Cavern when those crazy things would come out of those holes, those things pretty much act in the exact same way, and they'll, actually I think these guys may take off 2 health. That's something I should find out, so let's see, we're missing 1. If I get hit by this guy, does he take off 2? I said if I get hit by this guy, yes he does, so even more of a reason to want to avoid those guys. But I don't think there's actually anything that we need to find in there, but the next place we are going to go to, we are going to work our way around the mansion right here, and I mean there are tons of places to explore in this level, and I really have not thought too well about what order I want to tackle everything in. So we'll just kind of do things as we find them, and let's hope that that works out in the end. Anyway, is this another one of those rooms with absolutely nothing in it? Because my strategy is usually just open every single window. Man, really? That candle hurt you? I figured it was just for, like, you know, aesthetic purposes. I didn't actually think I would get damaged by it, but okay. But yeah, like I said, usually when I play Banjo-Kazooie, I just go inside every single window and collect everything inside each one, but it seems like there are a few useless ones that I actually did not remember, but the next important thing that we're going to do is go over to this thing here, and if we ground pound this door, we can enter the creepy cellar. Ooh. This would be really fitting if I played this around Halloween or something like that, but instead you're going to have to deal with it at the end of May. Anyway, down here we have these ghost guys, and like the mummies and like the skeletons, the only way to kill them is with the gold feathers, although unlike them, you can't even halt them by hitting them, you know, like making them crumble. The only way to destroy them or stop them is with the gold feathers. Anyway, down here we have a whole bunch of different kind of, you know, barrels. If we go all the way to the edge over here, we have a really bad camera angle and some notes on top of this thing. But what you want to do here, as I'm sure many people have heard that Jinjo, is you can break open these barrels, and sometimes there will be things inside, and sometimes there will not. But this one has the first Jinjo of the level. This one right here had a gold feather, which I desperately need. This one right here, we cannot open. And over here, we have some eggs inside of this one. Actually, I said some eggs inside of this one. Unfortunately, that's kind of the best camera angle I can get, unless, you know, you stand right in front of it, you look directly inside of it, but who wants to spend the time doing that? I think that one was completely empty. This one has Mumbo token number 2, and this one has a Jiggy number 1. So there we go. So like I said, this level's really, like, it's definitely much bigger than what we have experienced so far. I mean, Gobi's Valley was starting to get to kind of the big side, but overall, in terms of places that we need to explore, Gobi's Valley, I mean, inside of each of the pyramids wasn't usually too big, but here, we have a lot of things to deal with. So here we have some notes taking us up to 19. Some people might notice what that is in the back over there, so we may head over there in the near future. But in the meantime, I think this is what I'm going to deal with next, and it is what is inside of this little house here. But before I go inside of there, I'm going to go around the back. Actually, I'm just trying to remember. I think there's a mumbo token over here? No. Like I said, there are a ton of places to explore in this level, and I was thinking of the wrong thing. I know there's a mumbo token up here, though. If we use this jumping disc to get onto this roof, and we instantly use the Talon Trot, we will not slide off. We can get these notes and this mumbo token, which is hidden inside of the light. But for now, let's go inside this building, and we will find another Jiggy, although it is stuck inside of this kind of weird gem crystal thing. But if we get these notes first, you may notice what is surrounding the room, and if you think about it, it's kind of obvious what these letters may spell out. So let's talk to this guy. Greetings, oh solid one. I guess implying that this guy's made of jello or something, but Jello's not really a solid. Is Jello an ice solid, or no, a solid, a liquid, or a gas? Or is it like kind of in between a solid and a liquid? I don't know what the heck you would consider Jello, but if we jump on top of this purple guy starts going around the room, and we need to spell Banjo-Kazooie while sliding on this guy. We can jump off of this crystal anytime we want by pressing the A button. Although it's usually not super advised unless like you're about to get hit by the purple guy. Also, the camera angle along this side is really bad, so it kind of sucks. And I believe if you run out of time, you die. If you go over the panels that have the Grantilda's face on them, it will damage you. But yeah, I believe that is this kid. I always hated this because if you run out of time, I'm pretty sure it's an instant death, which sucks. So let's see. K, where is the next A? Probably along the really terrible kind of camera angle. Like, you cannot change this camera angle. I'm not joking. That is how bad you have to deal with it. K, A, Z, or Z, whatever you prefer. O. Okay, so the I and E are right there, but where is the other O? I think it's along this wall somewhere. Yes, there we go. O. 20 seconds to finish this up. We're in pretty good shape. I do not believe that there's any way to kill the purple ghost guy, unlike the green ones that you could kill with gold feathers. But there we go, almost flawless, and still very little time left to spare. At last, the puzzle is solved. And another puzzle solved in this crazy game of puzzles. So now we can take this Jiggy, and there you go, number 2. That one, yeah, like I said, as a kid, I always hated that because I died many times because, you know, like you'd make little mistakes and get hit by the guy, and like I did really well there and only ended off with 9 seconds. So overall, you do have to be almost perfect to complete that. Anyway, heading down these stairs that I talked about earlier, I realize where this leads to now. Also, there are these gates here, and just like the last gate that, you know, we kind of busted down, even like, I hate that when things have locks and the solution is actually just to use a really basic attack on them. I've never liked that because I've always kind of got confused by them. Anyway, we have this crazy well here, and if we go inside of here, it's a lot bigger than it looks on the outside, first of all, but if we look straight down, there are a whole bunch of things, and there are some crazy things that are going to hurt us down there. But in the meantime, we're actually not going to go down there. We're going to save that for a little bit later. I just wanted to show that you could go inside the well. And there are some gold feathers down there. Although overall, what is more important are the things that kind of surround this area, like the notes. And I really should take off the Talon Trot and just jump normally, but I do not feel like doing that. So let's see, we're already at the 29 notes, which is pretty good. And obviously that was going to happen eventually. So I guess I should probably start doing it the safe way now, since we are down to 4 health. We do not want another freeze easy peak kind of situation going on here. But anyway, I think that's all we have for now. Oh, we have some boots, although I'm not really sure how they're going to help us, except for getting those kind of gold feathers that I saw. And because we are so short on them, I guess there is no reason why we should not pick them up. So let us do that. Another one there, and I think that is all that we're going to go and do here at the moment. You may notice there's a little bit of a door there, although of course Banjo cannot fit in anything of that size. So let's get rid of the boots, and let's proceed on to this gate that we just destroyed. And there are of course some notes around here. So you always have to get all of those first. Notes are definitely going to start becoming much more difficult to find, of course, as the levels get bigger. That's kind of obvious. And I just really fear that, you know, it's going to be Almost like what happened at Clanker's Caverns. I'm going to be down to like 2 notes or something. I'm never going to be able to remember where they are. And we have some eggs around here. Not that we're ever going to really need them. And we have 2 Jinjos now. And if we go up these stairs... Actually, it is a bad idea to go up those stairs at the moment. And you will see why in a second. That is because if we go over... Actually, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to kill this guy. Get the honeycombs. And then run for my life away from these bees, as I really don't want to waste any gold feathers destroying them. Before we go up those stairs that I was just showing a couple seconds ago, I'm going to destroy this gate. Another one that has a lock on it, even though you don't need a key, which is kind of silly. And that brings us to the creepy church. Ooh. So yeah, we're going to be dealing with a lot more than just the mansion in this level, as you can see. And in fact, we have hardly dealt with the mansion at all. And we are already 10 minutes into this level. So there we go. The solution to this kind of puzzle here is there are these flower pots all around kind of the garden cemetery area. And what you want to do is just put some eggs into each of them. And they will grow, because remember kids, flowers don't grow out of seeds, they grow out of eggs. And there are a whole bunch of these kind of gravestone guys. And as I said, you don't see too much of them. I guess you do see them a little bit here in front of this church. But overall, these versions are actually a lot smaller than the ones which were kind of in the lobby area anyway. Come on, go in there! You actually only need to put 1 egg in there, but for some reason I'm always putting more in there. I think that is Mumbo token number 4. I think we started off with 28. Anyways, just destroy this guy, as we do not need to deal with him. Go over to this here, put another egg inside of that. I said put another egg inside of that. There we go. I think we're almost done. Overall, you pretty much have to do it to every single one. And you will know once you have done them all. Let's see, it's killing. Yeah, these guys take a lot of hits. I mean, I guess it makes sense. Gravestones, you would expect to be kind of strong. And there you go, the final one, and Jiggy number 3. Very cool. So now, if you turn around, you may notice that out of all of these stained glass windows, one of them, for some reason, has Banjo and Kazooie on it. And I actually figured this out as a kid, and sometimes I kind of wonder how I did, but I guess ever since playing Mario 64, it always put me in a mindset to always try jumping into pictures, and always try jumping into windows. So I mean, I saw this odd stained glass window here, so I tried jumping inside of it, and there is actually a secret passage inside of here. And if you run all around this room, you will grab a whole bunch of items like extra lives that we have not really needed at all, some gold feathers, red feathers, and eggs, although there is actually nothing that you 100% need to pick up for completion in this room. Which I guess was kind of nice to them, since a lot of people probably would not figure out to jump into that window. But, I mean, after freaking Donkey Kong Country 2, where you had to go through walls and all this other crazy stuff to find secrets, I would not have put it past them to hide some things in there. But anyway, there is an entrance to the hedge maze here, and we will enter the hedge maze soon, but not quite yet, because there's still one more thing I want to do before I do that, and that is go on top of the church, where we will find a ton of notes. So just kind of go all along the roof here, and we will be entering the church soon enough, because surprisingly, you know, Banjo can kind of destroy locked gates, but you cannot just easily break open the front of the church. There actually is something special that we need to do there, and ow, accidentally sliding off of there. I don't know exactly why I did that. Usually I do not do that, but anyway, you can easily jump back up there, and as you saw, there was a Mumbo token up there, which we do want to get, so let's jump on top of this brick that's kind of jutting out. And here we have the great church with no hands on. I don't know how many clock towers I've seen on buildings around my house that are just not working. I guess they never bothered to fix them. And man, but luckily I kind of saved it. There was a bit of a ledge, and I really was not expecting to accidentally go over it, but apparently I did, so I have to carefully get these notes without falling off. And that will take us to almost 50 notes. Wow. We are getting notes a lot faster than I thought we would, although the mansion is definitely kind of the biggest part that you're going to have to deal with, and we have not even really touched on that yet. So don't worry, even though looks like we're almost halfway done, there is actually still quite a bit for us to do. There we go, got that puzzle piece. That is puzzle piece number 4. And now what I think we are going to do is we are going to head inside this church. So like I said, normal attack does absolutely nothing on this crazy door. So what we're going to do is go to this area over here that we were at earlier, actually. That is not the exact area I was talking about. There are a few ways to get to the area that I want to get to. That is one of them. Although, over here we can also get there. And those stairs I showed earlier, we have some running shoes here, as well as this switch that has a clock with no hands on it. So, I wonder what that could possibly be connected to. I remember the kind of trouble I had with this as a kid. So anyway, what we want to do is quickly put on the Talon Trot, grab the shoes, and run as fast as you can to the church before the door closes. We couldn't do this before, as you may remember there was a gate here. We needed to destroy that, or else we would have had to stop, destroy it, and then get to the door, and that would have been a pain. So anyway, here we go. We are inside the church. We made it with just enough time. And we will be doing some crazy things in here. I don't know, for some reason Haunted Levels makes me want to put on, you know, my terrible impersonation of Dracula voice. But anyway, we have these massive pews. I have no idea exactly who is supposed to be sitting on these things, but anyway, each one of them has a note on top of it. So we're going to have to, you know, spend 5 minutes backflipping our way to the top of all 4 of them just to get those notes. But yeah, really, who would sit on top of these things? Because, I mean, even Grentilda, it's not like she is 10 times bigger than Banjo or anything like that, so I'm not really sure who these would be intended for. I guess the monsters that Mad Monster Mansion is all about, but really, it's more ghosts and skeletons than anything. We haven't even seen a real monster yet. Let's see, so 2 more to go, so let's go up on top of this one here. So we got this, so 52, and 1 more pew on the other side to take us up to, come on, suspenseful, up to 53. There we go. And I guess if I know, yeah, so I could get 100 eggs, but 200 eggs, but who really wants 200 eggs? But over here we have a massive organ, and we can jump up on kind of these foot pedals here. Although the camera angle is really bad. There we go, we have a jump disc with another Mumbo token, number, I believe, 6. If you go on top of the piano keys here, you will meet this guy. Motsan wants to play the organ with ease, but can you follow him on the keys? So it's pretty much a memorization game, just like back in Bubble Gloop Swamp. We had to remember the kind of pattern of the Tip-Top Turtles. So it's not really too much of memorization, I guess, because you can actually just follow him along. I remember as a kid, I actually waited for him to finish because I thought that you couldn't start it until he was done, but it's overall really simple. So just hit the keys that he presses. Be careful when he does the small black ones because it's kind of easy to miss them. And I believe that if you accidentally hit the wrong key, you do lose some health, so you do want to be careful with that. Not bad, Bear, but now watch me and copy this tune. And the maze LB. So overall, it's pretty much just as simple as the last one, although I believe he starts to move a bit faster, so you just do kind of need to try a bit harder to keep up, but overall, nothing major. And he does also press the black keys a little bit more this time, which you do have to kind of line up a bit more because you don't want to accidentally get wrong. Let's see, so the big one. I remember my grandparents always had, it wasn't an organ, you know, it was just like a piano, but it had, like, you know, the real keys. It wasn't an electronic keyboard or anything like that. I always used to, you know, mash the keys when I went over to their house when I was a kid, and I was really impressed when I learned how to play Mary Has the Little Lambs. I mean, it was like 3 notes or something like that, but anyway, you know, I was like a 4-year-old kid. It made me happy. But that was pretty much the extent of me playing an instrument. I've never really, you know, taken up the guitar or anything like that, like some of my friends have. But anyway, there you go. All of the keys, I believe. Your music skills are mighty fine, so take this golden piece of mine. So he rhymes just like Grentilda. Wonder what the heck that is supposed to imply. So anyway, if we go on top of the organ now, all the way up there, we will find this skeleton guy. I'm not even going to bother wasting gold feathers on you. We can go up there to get the thing, although back here we have another extra life, which takes us up to 5. And now we can work our way up with note, red feather. What is this? The snowman's scarf? And darn it, stop falling off. Ah! Okay. Let's take off the Talon Trot then. Note. So note, feather, jiggy. Number. What number is this? 4 or 5? Number 5. Wow. So yeah, that's pretty much halfway there. Gold feather, or red feather. 59 notes. So wow, we're actually doing very well with this level. But again, I'm very kind of wondering just how the mansion is going to do. If you notice over here, instead of a flame, like you'd probably expect to have a kind of this torch thing, we actually have a flying disc, and this will allow us to fly way up to the rafters. of kind of the cathedral church thing. And up here, we have the witch switch. And then when we hit that, a Jiggy will appear in the witch's eye back in that room. So, I mean, you thought we were done with that room. Think again, because the game is still making us go there to do stuff. And that, of course, means we are going to have to deal with the running shoes and that flying disc again, which only lasts for a few seconds. So, look forward to that after this level. And over on each side of the room, there are some blue eggs. In the middle here, connects to the other side, we have a Mumbo token. And let's not fall. I honestly don't know how much damage you would get from falling from this height, but it might be lethal. That's kind of something I'm interested in figuring out now. I don't remember the last time I actually fell from here, but luckily it will not be this time. And up here we have the first empty honeycomb of the level. So one more of those to find, and I risk going all the way over here to get the gold feather. Now that I think about it, as a kid, I think I would usually fall, and if you fall and at the perfect time you press the Z button for a ground pound, you will not take fall damage, but that's kind of risky. And because I really don't want to have to get all the notes again, let's just do it that way. So anyway, I think that doing everything in here and a lot of stuff outside is a pretty good spot to end off this video. So 59 notes, 5 Jiggies, 1 empty honeycomb, 20 minutes and 30 seconds. That seems great. So next time we're going to focus a lot more on the mansion, and also we have the hedge maze outside of it to deal with, and we are also going to be paying Mumbo a visit. So look forward to that. And yeah, hope that you enjoyed this part. Hope that you can see just how Mad Monster Mansion, it does definitely seem a lot more complicated than the levels before it. Because I've played through it before, I'm kind of making my way through it. Not too bad, but until next time, that's all for now. So hope you enjoyed this part. Thank you very much for watching. And I hope to see you next time when we finish this level off. So thanks, and see you then.